And I will check whether we are live. Hi, everyone. Just making sure that we are live. No, live. Yes. Please leave us a comment if you can see us live. I believe we'll have a little bit of delay. Okay, guys, so fingers crossed people can see us, right? So just to make sure that we are going live. Meanwhile, we can say hello to everyone, right? Hi, everyone. Yes, we can see well live.
Hello.
Perfect.
Okay, that's great. All right, guys, I'm super happy that we finally here together to discuss such an urgent topic as IT training in private banking, especially for us who are based in Switzerland. So as we are going through the complexity of the 21st century, it's clear that technology is just not an enabler. It is an important asset into transforming in the digital transformation for any industry and especially for private banking. It is starting with digital banking solution to cybersecurity. We understand that IT skills should be top-notch, right? So, and that's why we brought together so many interesting people and actually experts in the industry, and they will be sharing their experience. So let me introduce our panelists. Let's start with Paula Januszkiewicz, a globally recognized cybersecurity expert as a Microsoft Enterprise Security MVP and regional director for Central Eastern Europe. She excels in penetration tests, audits, architecture consulting, training, and seminars. Hi, Paula. It's really nice to meet you here. To see
Very
you here.
nice to see you. Yeah, absolutely. And hello. Looking forward to our conversation.
Amazing. And the second one is Ben Musa, is distinguished CTO at Rail Intesa São Paulo. He is well known for pioneering innovative and transformative strategy, ensuring top-notch services for clients and employees alike. Ben, it's a pleasure to having you here.
Nice to meet you, everyone. Thank you for this experience and the possibility to talk with you on this live event.
Amazing. And René Bernard, a familiar and respected figure in our circle, and I'm super happy calling him my colleague. Celebrating 25 years in Microsoft training as a Microsoft trainer. His experience and insights are invaluable. And he's also a training manager and a senior cloud architect at KT. Hi, René.
Hi, thank you, Amira. I very appreciate to be with you today.
Lovely. And myself, Elmira Gazizova, I'm a product marketing manager at KT, and also I'm an AI enthusiast, and I will be moderating this discussion. So guys, let's turn into our first topic of the discussion. Let's explore the skills landscape for IT professionals in today's banking environment. Paula, could you highlight the key skills and knowledge areas as essential for IT professionals in private banking now?
First of all, the most important part is to be able to recognize the threat, I would say, because there are so many of them, and year by year, in different statistics, different reports, we are seeing an amount of attacks increasing all the time, especially when we look towards phishing area. So simply the form of an attack that we see through an employee. And phishing is also increasing year by year because simply when it works, there's a pretty big gain for the attacker, depending also when we look, the average salary of a hacker nowadays when they are conducting the attack is approximately $30,000 per month, which for some of the people might be definitely worth it. We know it's illegal, but attacker probably won't treat this fact as the number one priority. Therefore, there's a huge amount of attacks happening right now. But on the other hand, the good side of that is that we've got lots of defenses, lots of solutions that, especially with the support of AI, machine learning, and so on, could allow allow us to recognize the threat pretty easily and also classify it, understand it, and eventually start the incident response process or forensic process, or maybe nothing, just a simple investigation because attack wasn't really happening there, but it was stopped by the solution. So what is, I would name, a number one skill over there for IT professionals is to be able to not only recognize the threat, but also to approach the threat, to react to the threat, so that at the end the company stays safe.
That's very interesting. Thank you, Paula, for those insights. And Ben, I would like to hear from you, as, considering your extensive experiences in Swiss private banking. Are there any additional competences you believe are crucial for IT professionals?
Yeah, well, nowadays with the swift change in technology, cloud computing, AI, machine learning, there are a new set of skills that need to be learned. Mainly with the new FINMA circular on operational resilience, the focus point is data. So all the jobs around data are, the buzzword, the buzz jobs. So data scientist, data analyst, of course, you need to build governance and cybersecurity around it. So all the skills linked to that are really top notch today. And the emergence of AI, and that is today a new amazing challenge. All the things that are linked to that. So prompt engineering, machine learning, NLP, LLM, all these type of new skills needs to be learned. And around that, we need to build the platform and give access to the data in a low-code, no-code way. So all the new tools, Power BI, for example, would be set of skills that are very useful today. And around that, we need cloud architect, we need cloud engineers, we need cybersecurity specialists, engineers, analysts, because we need to secure all that. So those are kind of the key skills or jobs that are trendy and that will be trendy for the next years.
Thank you so much, Ben. That's music to my ears. I'm very passionate about AI and how you can learn to communicate with AI through prompt engineering. So building on these valuable inputs from Ben and Paula, I'm turning to you, René. Could you share your thoughts on any emerging skills that IT professionals should focus on?
Yes, I think it's obvious for all attendees today that the world of IT keeps evolving. If you remember, since the beginning of this century, we have some technologies like VMware ES6 in 2023, and now this technology is on all companies. But on the other hand, the situation is different for the following technology. For example, for 26 we have the cloud, 27, 28 we have the fusion of CI/CD for DevOps, and 2010 as Azure. 2013 we have Docker. 2015 we have Kubernetes, and recently we have a massive adoption of Microsoft 365, a new authentication with Entra ID, and so on. And I think for IT developers, it's quicker to appropriate these technologies than the people in charge of IT infrastructure. And for IT people infrastructure, we have demands on FinOps, cybersecurity, of course, like Paula said, and architecture with cloud adoption framework, like Ben said. And they need to have rapid deployment, and they need to use new tools like Terraform, Ansible, Agility, CI/CD. They need to know Git, GitLab, GitHub, and Azure DevOps, and all of these tools.
Yeah, that's great insights. Thank you, everyone. That actually brings us to the next critical topic. Ben, as the CTO of Rail Intesa San Paolo, you are at the forefront of integrating innovative technologies within the private banking sector. Given the increase of role of cloud computing and artificial intelligence in shaping the future of banking, could you share your perspectives on the challenges and opportunities these technologies present in IT training?
Well, these merging technologies, even though as René mentioned, it's been now like a bit more than a decade that the cloud computing is there and things have changed. But nowadays it's the time. It's the real boost is today, and we're facing some very hard challenges today. Is that the first one is the skill gap. We know how to do legacy technology. It's complicated for us to do cloud computing, to work in a biz DevOps or biz DevSecOps kind of way. So we have to reinvent ourselves. So these skill gaps, this is one of the biggest challenge. We need to build digital literacy in all aspects of the business. Then there is always the resistance to change. There is a cultural mindset to change, specifically in banking, because we need to transform all the banking and the private banking sector with the help and the boost of these new technologies. Around all that, we always have this regulatory, cybersecurity, compliance type of issues or concern, and we need to build all this platform in a very secure way and in a modern way, and all that also facing cost and return on investment. To change our mindset first, we need to invest, and at the beginning, instead of decreasing the cost, we will have an increase of some costs, specifically into training, but also into preparing the platform of tomorrow. But then we're going to get a greater return on investment, because the aim of that is boosting all the part that yesterday we did very manually, semi-automatically, but nowadays we can build all that into an automated way. So mainly the challenges are those ones today. Opportunity as simple: scalability, boosting efficiency. We pay what we consume, so that is a great new mindset for IT professional, in terms of we don't have systems and platforms that are there consuming electricity, consuming resources, but not doing anything. So this one is one of the very good opportunity. Then with all this new technology, data at the center, AI to help boosting efficiency, we improved customer experience. That's the main goal, improving customer services that we sell to our customers. Of course, we built with all that innovative products. We have a better ability to time to market in that, and that is essential, because with all these changes, we need to be able to launch new products, new services, right away. And with the technology today, we will be able to do that in Swiss private banking. And last but not least, all that needs to be held in a risk management way and compliance way. And with the help of a lot of new products from Microsoft, for example, in which we have the security portal, the compliance portal, cyber risk as well. We are also with the CM within the whole spectrum. We have a better way to secure the data and to score it towards the standard of the market. So for me, those are the points that are our challenges and our opportunities today.
Ben, I love your enthusiasm about this emerging technologies, and also leveraging this customer-centric approach. It's very dear to my heart, so I'm with you on that. Now, turning to our esteemed trainers, Paul and René, known for your expertise in professional development and IT training, in your experience, what are the most in-demand IT skills for professionals in private banking today? Moreover, how Microsoft certification can help employees acquire these skills. Let's start with Paula.
Of course. So I guess we've got quite a lot of things to say over here with René, having the experience from the field in the trainings. But it's like Ben said. For example, we need experts in cloud technologies. So we've got Entra ID that is relatively new. Let's say it this way. But then yet not many people are in the field. Not many people understand what kind of benefits it brings. It's not maybe that much about learning the new stuff, but it's new already, it's there and so on. But we need to be able to get some good benefits of how it can, for example, protect our identity and environment. How can we rely on a cloud, different cloud innovations to support ourselves? So that will be like the infrastructure number one thing. But on the other hand, we've got also security that comes in place, and that's what I deal with, and it's just everywhere. And if it's not everywhere, it should be everywhere, because a lot of companies that are not investing, that are not modernizing themselves in terms of skills as well, in terms of security, then they stay behind and they're an easy target for a hacker. Equals there is a disruption in their business and they cannot function. Maybe they would need to be in a situation when someone's going to ask them to pay the ransom, then that's going to see the public and so on. So there's like a domino effect when the attack happens. Therefore, understanding the threat and also being able to recognize it, it's also one of the keys over there to be in education. Therefore, for that, of course, you've got a lot of trainings. Like you've got on the Microsoft side, you've got Sentinel as a solution, which allows us as a CM system to build different queries, build the different workflows that would allow you to react to the attack and also search for it in a certain way. We call it, by the way, the hypothesis-based threat hunting, which means that if something is going on, then you build a hypothesis or it may not even be going on, but you can build a hypothesis, and the hypothesis is built on your knowledge because you know what can happen. You assume that, therefore you build a query to search for a potential threat, which may not be there, but at least you know it's not there, which is a good thing. But that way of building queries and so on in KQL, or even using the different solutions, it's a key to be smoothly operating amongst tons of information that you gather anyway from the operating systems. So many trainings, obviously, but as Ben and René also mentioned, we've got a cloud focus, we've got cybersecurity focus, not to mention, of course, cybersecurity awareness, but that's more on the employee side, not on the IT pro side.
That's true. And René, with your quarter of the century experience as a Microsoft trainer, I'm very curious. What is your take on this?
I really appreciate that Paula said about that. We receive a lot of requests about the following topics like Azure Cloud and Microsoft 365, data intelligence, artificial intelligence, and of course, for all of them, a lot of queries about the security, because we cannot implement this in the company if we don't have the security reflection. But for us, we are thinking that the certification is the first line of knowledge, okay? And the request that we receive after from the customers demands it's about the feedback, the concept, about vocabulary, because of course the cloud is present since 10 years, but they want to have the same language, the same basis for all the team support and level 2 and level 3. They want to have the same. This is because the fundamental courses is important for all, and after we can specialize people on different level. And question is about the best practices, about the cloud adoption framework and guidance, compliance, something like that. People want to have case study, proof of concept. And of course, when we give these courses, customers want to have guaranteed that the course is not canceled and not postponed, and the course is adapted to what we need to learn. It's not only a course in the catalog, we need to select what is very important, and people cannot send all the team on the same time, and we need to have this adaptation and this flexibility. The course is important, but we need to have an adaptive design for each customer.
Exactly, and this is what actually we discussed in our latest article at PIT. So don't hesitate and look at our latest newsletters. So reflecting on this in great discussion that we've had so far, I would like to touch upon a very important aspect of this discussion, the application and evolution of this training strategy and in a real world example. Ben, coming back to you and drawing from your rich experience, could you walk us through how your bank approach to IT training changed over the time? If I'm not mistaken, you've been working for the same bank for over 15 years. Am I right?
Yeah, well, 17 years now, and in the banking sector for about 24 years. So I'm quite knowledgeable about training, IT training in banks. Well, during all those years, it was type of pick and choose training. You select the type of training you want. You go into a training center, and you do your training. In Switzerland, quite complicated. It's a small country. Have all the experts around the globe, so it's often complicated to have really specific type of training, and it costs a lot of money, by the way. And that was more of a pick and choose type of training, and year by year we had a small budget around what we're going to train on in a specific IT expert type of skills. Nowadays, it's completely changed. We have e-learning platforms. We at Rail, and with the help of Intesa San Paulo, we have an e-learning platform with Aprendo, not only for IT elements or cybersecurity awarenesses, but also on the regulatory side of the IT. So all that is very, very good. We have also another platform that is a pure Swiss one in digital, and we are mixing things: e-learning, online training, and also presential, so training centers. And this is now we build a program. We're not just picking and choosing, from time to time and sitting and saying, okay, what we're going to learn tomorrow. No, the mindset is different. Is a continuous training, continuous change mindset. So to be able to do that, we need to have continuous e-learning platform, continuous online training, and we build the program. And those are really the changes that we faced in IT and IT for private banks.
Thank you, Ben. Yes, that's true. And enabling, for example, AI, it comes with enabling AI literacy, right?
Yeah.
So as you've mentioned already that IT training cost a lot, and given this significant investment in IT training program, understanding and measuring the return on investment become essential for justifying these expenses and also planning future expenses. And the question to everyone on the panel: how can private bank effectively measure the ROI on the IT training? Let's start with Paula.
Of course. So ROI can be measured through different KPIs, of course. Sometimes we might be comparing costs just to benefits, for example, such as increased efficiency, monitoring the increase or decrease, and hopefully decrease of various attacks in terms of cybersecurity as well. And there's like a clear different graph statistics that you can also find telling us that, of course, if the employees are trained well in terms of cybersecurity, then they will decrease the rate of an attacks, which is very logical. But that cybersecurity awareness training also, as Ben mentioned, needs to be done well. And especially for banking sector, this kind of training needs to be adjusted. So when that's happening, then there's going to be a decreased ratio of receive for the attacks. So that's one of the ways to measure ROI, because people are going to be more knowledgeable about how threat looks like. They're going to be avoiding different phishing attempts. Now, since we mentioned AI so many times, we've got AI supported attacks, and the deepfakes are maybe not regularly used, but they are started to be used for the various attacks. And quite recently, there was a big attack on one of the banking industry Hong Kong-based companies, where there was a person who actually accepted a message coming, and it was actually generated by and supported by AI, and eventually in the wrong hands, of course, and eventually he transferred some money somewhere. So there's more details about that that you can read. I think it was, but I don't want to miss say it. It was something like $20 million or something like that. So it was a pretty huge amount of money that was engaged in the process. So that's something that can happen even when the threat is only targeting one person, which I think is a fantastic example of how training can actually impact positively the ROI in terms of particularly that company, but also the other companies. So when it's well done, when it's thought through, as also been mentioned, when it's adjusted to the needs of the banking industry, of the banking sector, when banking sector knows what kind of threats they can expect, then they can address them in the training. And then eventually, when the training is interesting, it's not only just the quiz and the slide and some speaker talking, but for example, when it involves podcasts, different maybe hacking demonstrations, examples of attacks, interviews with someone who has been maybe targeted and what they did, or maybe an interview with someone who performs that kind of a test legally as well. That's very interesting. And when I'm saying this, I'm thinking about one of the examples, practical examples that I've participated in, and eventually people were very engaged. They are engaged in chat. They are interested because, for example, we are not only touching the professional environment that they are in, but also their family, because it's hard not to say that when the attack is happening on a human being, it's a human being also touching their interests, the forums that they are registered on. Maybe this is even how it starts, because they reuse their password here and there, and it's the same, for example, that they're using within the different services in a company. So in general, you measure by the effects that, for example, could be related with the attack ratio in terms of a phishing sphere, smishing sphere, vishing sphere, and so on. So you've received that amount of attacks, which you can record, versus you became a target and they effectively worked. User clicked on the links that many times, and then you will see that that number, if the training is done well, just decreases.
Thank you so much, Paula, for sharing this. This information is super crucial, and I believe anyone who is in charge of organizing trainings or bringing the awareness about cyber attack, they will be highly inspired in integrating these practices for sure. Turning to René, how does this align with your experience, especially with the one that you've shared with me? We had this discussion prior, how companies may measure ROI. I would love you to share this with our audience.
Okay. So I think it's very essential for the company to have this. It's a necessity. Okay. We have different ways to measure the effectiveness of the training plan, and if you look from 50s, Kirkpatrick give a model for the ROE. This model is based on 4 levels. Okay, the first level is the first reaction, as Paula said that. Okay, we have an evaluation at the end of the course. It's very easy to implement. You can only put what do you think about what is your degree of satisfaction about this course, but it's only the beginning, but it's not a guarantee that it's a good point, but it's the first level. Kirkpatrick explained, secondly, for level 2, the evaluation of learning, because this is the place for the exam, for the lab, for the discussion with pair about the acquisition of new skills, about the knowledge. Thirdly, he talked about the transfer level in the work environment, that we can implement this. And finally, the evaluation of result is on factual and quantifiable elements. It's about this is in production, and a lot of indicators about this, like increasing production, quality improvement, cost reduction. It's very important. Less failure issues, decreasing turnover for human resources, and so on.
Yeah, thank you so much, René. Later on, I would love to post about this interesting concept. I found it very insightful. Ben, do you agree with this perspective? So do you see it differently?
Well, a lot of elements have been already given by Paula and René, and they're really top notch in what is training and how you can measure it. Mainly, well, lately we start to work in IT and the way we worked in business. Return on investment often in IT wasn't really, it was a bad word. We were talking about everything that was linked to the business side, but not to the IT training and stuff. But what needs to be done is to create your training scorecard. You build your own KPI, for example, employee satisfaction around the training, the churning rate of employees. You can have skill assessment before training, after training, some productivity metrics that before training, the delivery of project or the task was in an average in X days or minutes or hours, and now it's proved. Revenue growth, basically on a scorecard that would be linked to innovation, the ability to innovate, to transform digitally, to transform a Swiss private bank, for example, and that it's helped by the efficiency, by the expert and trained employees. Of course, we have cost reduction, risk mitigation type that we can build directly after the training and the type of training that we have. So on that, also a benchmarking of the type of training that we do towards what is done in the business side. But all that is not just linked to IT. All that needs to be linked in a bigger program that is all employees of a bank, because any type of error, any type of mistraining can cause loss of money, loss of data, loss of reputation. So the example Paula gave about this deepfake attack, based on AI, you have attacks based on AI, and now you have also defense based on AI. But the key element on that, the training of the people that are analyzing this data or are in front of this attack, and the way they answer to it. And that's it reduces a lot of risk for a bank and loss of money.
Yes. That's true, Ben, and it's good that you've mentioned as well the reputation, because we're building our reputation for decades, and we can lose it within a couple of minutes, right? So we are near the end of our engaging and insightful discussion. Thank you, everyone. I'd like to pose our final question to everyone on the panel. What advice would you give to private banking professionals who want to stay up to date with IT trends and skills? René, would you start?
Okay, thank you. I think we need a lot of controls for the training plan. That's about the budget, the agenda, the planning, the learning paths, the competent and qualified trainers like Paula and her team. And I work as a trainer since 25 years now, and we have in KIT a good network of good specialists for that. And I remark that a lot of customers, private bank, have mostly the same needs. And the question is, why not combining these needs with other private bank? And we are seeking with Ben to a new concept for pooling IT knowledge needs from private banks. And the name, we want to create a shared Excellence Academy, And this Excellence Academy, said we can share the needs, the catalog, the planning, the feedback, the evaluation, and KIT take care of finding and organizing this on time. And our goal is focused on three departments in customer side. For example, the human resources. We want to limit people turnover in the company, and each private bank can say, okay, we have an academy, and this is your learning path if you want. And for the purchasing department, we can share the cost, and it's very interesting. And for the IT manager, I think it's very, very, very important. The course is scheduled, is guaranteed. In the past, I cancel 50% of my time is to cancel training because there is not enough people in the classroom. And if the course is scheduled, guaranteed with the best trainer, with technical experience, we can review the planning together around the same table, and we can give the class several times, because for people, I think Ben cannot send all of this team on the same time in the classroom. Okay, we don't want to block the production. Okay, so we always seek to be efficient and meet this important expectation.
Yeah, that's true. Ben, as you have this discussion with you had this discussion with René, would you like to add up on your advice?
Yeah, well, it's been almost a year that we started this type of discussion. Well, in terms of how do you stay alert and upskilled with your career path, you have to build three vectors. Well, two of them, it's your responsibility, and the third, it's more the company's responsibility to do that. One is you have to build your own personal training program. Every day you need to go over 15 30 minutes of podcast, YouTube channel, e-learning, and those one, and networking. All those ones are mainly free, so you don't need to invest money, you just need to invest time. And that is really important, that IT expert, IT personnel, and not only IT personnel, actually everyone should spend at least daily 15 to 30 minutes of your own time into that. That is you building your own career, your own knowledge, and that is really important. Then the community. This is what we're trying to do with René, with KIT, but also with other strategic partners as Microsoft, and maybe many more. We try to gather all Swiss private banking personnel, IT expert, and trying to get everyone together to share the cost and to build this innovative hub, this excellence academy, this center in which not only we share everyday issues and problems or challenges that we face with IT and Swiss banking, but also build together better skills, improve our own skills, and drive transformation, and maybe for some of us becoming a leader and drive through leadership and transformation. And the last one, it's the corporate. A bank like Rail is investing a lot of money into building and providing non-stop e-learning platform in which we have not only IT sessions or training, but also business, regulatory, compliance, and ESG type of training that we could have. So those are the three vectors in which everyone needs to invest. Companies, of course, but mainly ourselves.
Thank you, Ben, for sharing that. Paula, I would love to hear your thoughts on that.
I mean, of course, I love the idea of the like an excellence platform, especially when we've got a mindset of who is delivering these trainings. So it's like selected trainers, selected experts that are like known from being very good at what they do. So that's one thing. Second, the shared costs. It's a great idea because it's just an enabler. And as Rena mentioned, when you've got like a classic approach, then you try to fill up the class, but then in the different sectors, in the different sizes of a country as well, then it's a big challenge. So why don't just put it together so that people can still educate themselves without the risk that the training, for example, is going to be cancelled? I think it's just not even one of, but the major concern of organizing the IT training, especially from some of the fields. There are not that many people interested in cybersecurity. It's just a part of the IT. Of course, it's getting more and more interesting, but then from the whole IT department, how many people is going to deal with cybersecurity? Let's say it's going to be a certain amount, but then the percentage of that would be able to do that type of a training in that particular time, and that's a bit challenging nowadays. So it's like a very modern concept of education that I just simply love. And yeah, this of course combined with the quality, it's a great combination, and it's just the only way we can do is to educate ourselves in that kind of a way.
Yeah. Guys, we are concluding our discussion. We went slightly over time as we were planning 30 minutes. It's just been already almost over 40. So I would like to take this opportunity to thank you guys for joining this call, for sharing your perspectives, inputs, and insights. I think every one of us who listened to this conversation left inspired and actually maybe having at the back of the mind the pathway, how I'm going to develop my IT skills or whatever skills you are working on. So before wrapping up, I would like to check whether we have any question in the comments section. So we have Mauro, who is looking forward to our discussion. Ines and Udo, thank you so much for your presentation. We will consider this. Thank you a lot. And if if there is no other comments, I'm feeling sad that it's at the end of this discussion, but I'm feeling fulfilled that we managed it, and so many takeaways for every one of us. So I'm wishing you a lovely evening, and we are looking forward to more the discussions like this.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Bye
guys.
bye, everyone.
Bye bye.